Who wants to talk about Big B?
Well, clearly not you, because you didn't finish watching this film.
I fell asleep.
You fell asleep about halfway through. So
it was good what I saw.
It was a great film.
I was tired.
But you missed, like you fell asleep at the pivotal moment in this film and then missed the whole rest of it.
Then what I'll do is I'll let you steer on this one since I
we're
can't.
talking about Baabul.
Look how pretty your dress is. Incredible film. So a while back,
you were getting ready to go to bed. This was, I don't know, a couple months ago maybe. You were getting ready to go to bed, and I wanted to watch a film. And since you were going to bed, I thought, well, I'm just going to pick a Big B film that I can watch, you know, just by myself. And I had narrowed it down to Baabul and Arakshan. And what made me watch Arakshan at that moment, as opposed to Baabul, is because I saw that Salman Khan was in Baabul and Deepika was in Arakshan. So I decided I would watch Arakshan, and I watched that one by myself. And at the time when we did the movie review, somebody made a comment to us and said, oh, Baabul is way better. And it was way better. But they said, Salman Khan wasn't in it very much. Now,
by Indian standards.
Now, friends.
Yes. 2 hours, bro.
We need to
Who
be
told you
honest
that?
with one another.
Who said that?
This film was 2.5 hours long, and Salman Khan was in more than half of it.
I want to just say, may I interrupt you?
Yes.
My favorite part of the movie is when he got hit by a car.
That was so crazy.
And I thought of the irony in true life.
This is true, but you're getting ahead of me.
Sorry.
So, friends, when somebody says Salman Khan wasn't in it very long, I'm thinking maybe he's in it for 20 minutes. Okay,
like
20
Yerfin
minutes.
in Hater?
Right. Like I'm thinking it's going to be a special appearance by. No, he was in more than half of the film, and in fact, before you got to the ending credits, he was the last face you saw on the screen. So, though he was already dead at that point.
Was he tapping in submission to me?
No.
Because I was beating him down in
so,
Karachi.
So I was a little taken aback that he was in so much of the film. That being said, he actually, his role was not awful. I thought his interaction with Big B in this film was really funny. We have called our son Buddy for a very long time.
I thought of Joshua watching this.
And so
me and Joshua.
Yes, we thought about that many times because, you know, we've always called him Buddy. Even now, when I text him, I'll always say, hey, Buddy.
Yeah.
So, yes, I thought that was very cute. So Salman Khan's appearance in this, while more than half of the film, wasn't awful. That's really the best I can say about him, by the way.
Now, when we were sitting down watching this film, you mentioned to me John Abraham's in it.
I told you.
And we didn't see him yet, and I said...
But I knew who he was going to be.
I said,
you didn't.
How long is it going to be before John Abraham kills him?
And then when he's introduced...
What's he say, dude?
He basically says, if you hurt her, if you make her cry, I will kill you. And of course we laughed.
I think that's who was driving the car.
Because we knew that Salman Khan was
I think it was him driving the car. Listen,
no,
I've seen Rocky Handsome, I've seen Cafe Madras, I've seen Force.
It's Madras Cafe.
Force 2. That was a straight up Rocky Handsome move. He ran him down.
You know what you didn't see?
Don't say it.
The last half of this film.
Did we find out who was driving?
No, but we know for a fact it wasn't him because he was living in London.
Oh, sure. How convenient. Dude, he's CIA. He's the Indian version of CIA. I was in London. Nobody's going to question that. It was the perfect crime. He got away with it.
Because Big B went over to see him in London.
Maybe he was cloned.
If you had watched the second half of the film, you would know that. So, in any case, this is a movie where Big B is the father to Salman Khan. Hema Malini is his wife in this film, Big B's wife.
How old is she?
I think she's in her 60s right now because he's like 76.
Is she not like really good looking for her age?
She's so beautiful. Now, this was 12 years ago, but even now she's still beautiful. Absolutely. I think she is so beautiful.
He should have married her.
That's a terrible thing to say. His friend married her, and he's married to the woman who was kind of his love interest in Sholay. He wanted to be her love interest in Sholay, but then he died. So in any case, so Big B and Hema Malini, and oh my gosh, the girl who played Salman Khan's wife, I think her name is Rani Mukerji. I think. I could be totally wrong.
From Black?
She's from Black, but I think that's her name.
Specs?
Specky. He kept calling her Specky. Over here, we would say Four Eyes, and that's not a term of endearment over here. So the fact that he kept calling her that and she was okay with that, I was like, wow.
Well.
So anyhow, he's been away in America at school, and he's been gone for 7 years, and Mom and Dad are super happy to have him come home.
Can we get a shirt that fits him?
He always wears...
He's doing the little brother shirts.
Yeah, in America, when guys wear shirts that are way too small for them because they want to showcase their physique, we call those little brother shirts, because they're shirts that would fit your little brother, not you.
We got to, hey, India, let's all pitch in and get him a shirt that fits.
Yeah. So in any case, he's playing their son, their only child, and they're super happy when he comes home. And he's working for Big B at the company. He's the number 2 man. And so they go off and they're golfing one day, and they run into Millie. And Millie's out there painting. And Millie's dad is like the golf pro at this golf course. And so he is basically, you know, made a way for her to be on the green by herself, so she thinks. And Big B, you know, he's joking around with her, but she doesn't take it that way. She's hot, okay? She's mad. And but Salman Khan is like, oh, I love this woman. So he falls in love with her, and but he's lying the whole time and saying that he works for the senile old man. That's what she calls Big B. Well, technically he does work for him, but he doesn't let on at all that this is his dad. And so Big B wants to buy her artwork, and then she goes to the company to deliver it. And they say, oh, well, we'll let you deliver it to the number 2 man while you're waiting for the man in charge. And of course, the number 2 man is Salman Khan, and he wants to get her out of there because he doesn't want her finding out what's going on. And here comes Big B walking in, but instead of saying, hey, buddy, he says, son. And then she sees. And so she's mad, and she wants to call it off, but she doesn't. And so they end up getting married. And they end up having a little boy named Ansh.
He was adorable.
He was adorable. Oh, see, if you had seen the second half, you would have seen how cute he was. So, so in any case, it kind of just goes through. Yeah.
Okay. That
very
was loud.
behind us.
Sorry, India.
Just kind of goes through their life, and basically, you know, they've been married for about 5 years, and they're going to be planning a party for the little boy. But Salman Khan is going to be away in London on business. And Millie is mad, and she wants him to come home, and he's supposed to be home, and he's not home. And so then he calls her while the party's going on, and he says that he's at the airport. And she's mad because she thinks Heathrow in London. And he says, no, I'm at the Mumbai airport. So she's like, fine, I'll send Panchi to come get you. Panchi's their servant.
Manservant Panchi.
Panchi, who thought Salman Khan was gay at one point in this film. So because Salman Khan is like,
he was going to do it just for the boss,
right?
For Big B.
So in any case, she says, I'll send Panchi, and he says, no, don't send Panchi. He's just going to take a cab basically. And when he gets like right by the house, he gets out of the vehicle and says, grab my bags, I live right over there. And he starts walking across the street. And then
John Abraham runs him over.
No, John Abraham was in London. He starts walking across the street in Mumbai on a rainy night.
I do it all the time.
Who does that?
I do.
So he did, and boom, he gets hit. And we see his body just kind of... The irony. And we both said, wow, that's kind of ironic.
And so, it was a great shot. I mean, it looked like he went flying up.
But he doesn't die immediately, so they go to the hospital. He wants to see Millie and Mom and Dad, and they go in there. And basically, he's unable to talk, but he's trying to communicate something to his dad with his eyes. And so he dies.
What was he trying to communicate?
You'll find out when we get there, because you didn't watch the second half.
I mean, I saw him looking like...
Yeah, you didn't see. So, so something that's different. Now, there are a lot of different things between Indian burial customs and American burial customs. One thing that is very different is Indians all wear white at funerals. That's not the case in America. When you go to a funeral in America, everybody wears dark colors, black or something dark. And so in this film, the idea is you're wearing the white because it's kind of the color of life has been taken out. In America, when you're wearing black at a funeral, it's to denote the darkness of your mourning. So I thought that was interesting. There's a difference there. So in any case, now we're watching her. She's still living with her in-laws, and her little boy is still living there. And there's a running theme throughout the film where Anch wants to avoid drinking milk. Grandma always wants him to drink milk, and he's always trying to avoid drinking the milk. So he's always hiding from Grandma. So Millie and the little boy are still living there. And obviously Mom and Dad are very sad, but Big B is noticing that his grief is nothing compared to Millie's grief. And so he decides that she needs to remarry. He comes in on her in several scenes where she is just broken. And I was crying when I'm watching this because she is broken, and you can just only imagine how you would feel if you were in her shoes. And then you're watching Big B watching her, and he's crying, and so then I'm crying.
You were crying?
Oh yes, it was so sad. So he decides he goes to her parents' house, and he asks about her childhood friend, who is played by John Abraham.
Who killed Salman Khan?
No. And he wants to know basically what happened to him. We haven't seen him in a long time.
Because he's on the run for killing Salman Khan.
And they said, well, after Millie's marriage, he moved to Europe, and he hasn't been back. So Big B says, okay, I'm going to go find him, basically. So he does. And so this scene that I'm about to describe was the worst scene in the movie. The rest of the film was spectacular. But the scene where Big B walks into the club where John Abraham is performing was terrible. It was filmed horribly. I don't know who decided to do the filming in that scene, but it just wasn't very good. So in any case, Big B's watching him perform, and he's kind of smiling, and afterwards, when Rajat was his character, he's signing autographs, he sees Big B. And he goes up to him, and they start small talking, and he basically wants to know why he's there. And Big B says, well, let's go somewhere else where we can, basically speak openly. So they go outside, and they're going for a walk. And Big B lets on that Millie is just filled with sorrow. And John Abraham is mad because he's like, why is she filled with sorrow? I promised your son that I would kill him if he hurt her. And Big B says, you can't even do that now because God already did that. And so that's how John Abraham finds out that Millie is a widow. And so Big B wants him to come back, and he does. And he buys a home in India, and he settles in India.
Is it in Vizag?
No, it's in Mumbai.
Should be Vizag.
Other side of the country, okay? Indian Ocean, not Bay of Bengal.
Bay of Bengal has no sharks.
I know. So, so in any case, now Big B is trying to get his daughter-in-law hooked up with John Abraham. And so the rest of the film is basically him coordinating little events to get her around John Abraham because he wants her to fall in love with him. John Abraham's already in love with her, and he wants her to fall in love with him.
Because he killed her husband.
No. And so they go and they see one of his performances, her and Big B, and she realizes what's afoot. And so she goes home that night, and she's crying. And Big B comes and turns the light on and basically wants to know why she's crying. She thinks that the reason he's trying to set her up with John Abraham is because he wants her out of his house.
Oh, that's so sad.
Oh, I mean, the last half of the film, I was doing nothing but crying. And so, no, he explains to her.
I was sleeping.
Yes, you were. And snoring, by the way.
My head was on your lap.
Yes, that's true. And so he explains to her.
Were you stroking my bald head?
I was at one point, but then I stopped because I was totally engrossed with the film. So he explains to her that that's not the case at all. He loves her, and she's his daughter, and he would love nothing more than for them to stay here. But the color has gone out of their home, and the joy has gone out of their home, and she can't thrive in that environment, and she needs to live. And so he's basically telling her he knows she'll have a happy life if she's remarried. Now, this is kind of taboo, apparently.
She was in it too?
No. T-A-B-O-O. The practice of something that is forbidden, not the actress T-A-B-U. Anyhow, apparently, according to the rituals, that Big B's brother is like beholden to, like firmly beholden to.
He was a jerk.
Widows can never remarry. And so his big brother, Big B's big brother, basically accuses Big B of bringing his own son's death on himself because they invited Pushpa the widow to the wedding. Okay, so Big B says, don't insult my son's death. So now fast forward, she finally agrees to marry John Abraham. I've left out a whole bunch of stuff, but it's a 2.5-hour film. So she agrees she's going to marry him, and there's this adorable scene where he comes to her home,
Where
which
John Abraham runs over Salman Khan.
no, and so she's living, with her in-laws, her and her son, and Grandma is looking for Anch because it's time for him to drink his cup of milk, and he's hiding. She never can find him, by the way.
She's under the table every time. Yeah.
She doesn't look very hard.
She's old.
So, in the film, she was like 58 or something. She's not old.
You can't be bending down at 58 looking underneath the tables.
She was in pretty good condition. And that was a high table with no tablecloth.
Yeah,
All she had to do was look.
Right.
Maybe. So, in any case, Anch is hiding under there. And John Abraham is walking by, and he drops his cell phone, and he swears. He says the S word. And the little boy says, "You just said," and then he repeats it. And John Abraham's like, "Oh, oops, I shouldn't have done that." So he grabs his cell phone, and he sits down by the boy. And he says, "What are you doing?" And the boy goes, swings his arms, and he goes, "I'm playing cricket." And then he goes, "What's it look like, fool? I'm hiding under the table." That's what the little boy said. It was, if you had been awake, you would have cracked up. It was so funny.
And then John Abraham killed him.
No.
Just grabbed his little head and went...
No. So he explains he's hiding from Granny because Granny...
Isn't John Abraham handsome?
His hair was too long.
Yeah, but he's a good-looking guy.
If his hair is short, but not when it's long like that, that's not a good look. So in any case, he sits down with the little boy and basically tells him almost the same thing that Salman Khan used to do, which is, if you want to have big muscles, you have to drink your milk.
And
he says, so if you drink your milk, then we can arm wrestle, but I think I'll still beat you. And so then he drinks his milk, they wipe their milk mustache off, they go and sit down, and then the boy beats him at arm wrestling. So it was a totally adorable
scene. Was he cheating like Grandpa, the cheater?
Well, he does allow the little boy to use both of his hands and put all of his weight into it. So in any case, so the wedding is on. And they've got all the guests there, and the priest is there, and everybody's ready.
Was it the priest from the SRK film?
No, this is a Hindu priest.
Oh, okay.
Not a Catholic
was it the brother,
priest.
like it was for the first wedding?
The brother was not the priest.
He wasn't?
No.
Okay, I'll be quiet.
Oh my goodness. So everybody's there, and Big B, and everybody's ready for the wedding. But the big brother, apparently Big B is brother number 2 out of 3 brothers. The third brother had passed away, younger brother. He was the husband of Pushpa. So the older brother and 2 of his sons, one of whom played one of the dirtbag sons of Big B and Hema Malini in Bhagwan. Okay, so they show up.
Those kids are so terrible.
Yeah, and they're gonna give it to Big B, and they're gonna shame him, and they're gonna tell him, "How dare you? You're disrespecting our traditions and our religion and society." I mean, basically, they're laying everything at his feet in blame. And Pushpa is there. And she's still dressed in white.
Does she finally speak?
She finally speaks, with tears in her eyes, of course. And her brother-in-law, the older brother, is like, "Look at Pushpa, she's got a great life, And so Big B basically asks her if this is true, and she says, "Well, I get 2 square meals a day, and I have a home. And so basically, if this is living, then yes, I have a life because I can eat twice a day, and I have a home." And only then are the wheels starting to turn in the brother's head, like, wow, maybe we've been unfair to her. And so what ensues is Big B basically, in the nicest way possible, shaming all these people and putting them in their place. And so the wedding does happen. And so she's able to get married. Little side note, Hema Malini was not real happy initially because she knew if Millie moves out, Anch moves out. And Anch is basically their last tie to Avi. And so she was sad about that, but eventually she comes around because she understands she's being selfish. What is important is that Millie needs to be happy and Anch needs a dad. And so, and they know that John
A dad
Abraham
who can
loves
kill
her.
people.
And so that was when he looked best because his hair was kind of pushed back and it wasn't all kind of stringy looking. And you would have loved his outfit, by the way, but you were asleep, so you
He would
didn't get to
call
see
me
it.
bro. You
His
know
wedding
that? If
outfit
we were
was very
hanging out
nice.
with John Abraham, he'd be like, hey, bro. What's
Probably.
up, bro?
So in any case,
Hey,
they get
co-protector,
married,
bro.
and the very end of the film, before the ending credits, they show Salman Khan looking in, and he's happy because what he had been trying to communicate to his dad on his deathbed was he wanted Millie to be happy, and he knew that John Abraham would make her happy. So the credits roll, and then you see Big B, and this is where I really lost it. He's in this darkened room, and he's holding this picture, and it's Millie and Avi, his son. And he's kind of running his fingers over the picture, and it's signifying that he knows this is the end. And so he walks to the door, and he closes the door, and that was it.
Oh, man.
So sad. Oh my gosh, I totally cried. I'm trying not to cry right now.
I want to say, in all
A plus. Yes.
in all honesty, Salman Khan was pretty good in this.
He was.
I enjoyed his performance in that.
He was. He yes. Other than the fact that he was a liar, he got punished for his lying, you know, because they
Because John
basically-
Abraham killed him.
he admitted, yes, he was lying, and Big B went to bat on his behalf and told Millie, this is all my fault, this is why he was lying, and basically smoothed it all over for them, because Big B is awesome. Awesome.
I'm going to give it an incomplete because I fell asleep during
Well,
it.
no, you
And
can't grade it
and
at all
was-
because
it
you
was-
fell asleep.
It was not because the movie was boring. I was just tired.
You can't grade it at all because you fell asleep.
I'm the professor. I can do whatever I want
No,
to.
you can't. In order for you to be able to grade something, you actually have to watch it. You didn't watch.
I watched
No,
half of it.
That's not
That
enough.
I'm going to grade the half as I watched as incomplete.
No, you can't grade
give it an
only the
incomplete.
half. If you're going to grade only the half, you have to give it an A because that first half was awesome. You can't do that. So the final grade is an A+. It's absolutely an A+. There were only 2 scenes that were kind of wonky. The one I already described where John Abraham is in the club, it was just filmed so weirdly. And the other scene came before that, after Avi died, where Millie was in the shower, remember? She walked into the shower fully clothed, remember?
To wash the...
Yes.
I don't know what that's
And then
called.
remember how the camera just kept
Back and forth, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, pick it angle, dude.
It was kind of like that in the club. It was kind of weird like that. So other than those 2 odd filming sequences, this film was amazing. The story was great. How about at the very beginning where
Yes.
when
I
Big
agree.
B where Big B and Avi were racing home from the airport and Big B wants to win, and Mom keeps saying you're not going to win because she knows her son's going to win this, and she's rooting for her son to win. And Big B says,
what I would do.
he
Yes.
says, hey, call Avi. So she calls Avi, and then he flags down a police officer and says, officer, that man over there is driving. He's talking on the phone while driving. And so then the officer goes over there, and Big B wins by cheating. So you would have done the same
I would have
exact
done the
thing.
same thing.
That was
Absolutely.
hilarious. So I loved this film. Big B, again, this is why I love him as an actor. He pulls you in with his performance. When you're seeing him cry, you really believe that he's feeling those emotions. It was just spectacular. And Rani Mukherjee'S performance as a grieving widow, wow.
I like the little manservant guy. I thought he was hilarious. Panchy was hilarious.
Panchy. So yeah, everybody did a spectacular job, but Big B always steals the show in my opinion. So A+.
A+, very good. Good
Yeah.
job, Shorty.